Happening right now, the owner of a Caledonia animal shelter thrown in jail for operating a shelter with deplorable conditions. Shannon Sims takes a look at what went wrong. Shannon.
Carol, speaking with people very familiar with this shelter, one thing that stuck out was that no one, or actually anyone who was interested in adopting a dog at this shelter, was never allowed inside the building. Rather, the dogs were brought outside to the parking lot.
Sleeping and eating in their own feces? I mean, that's terrible.
The conditions were horrible inside.
The Humane Society spent most of the day removing some 60-plus dogs, cats, and even a pig from the hot and smelly shelter. Volunteers were faced with toxic conditions because of all the animal feces and urine on the floor. Caledonia investigators also searched the owner's Racine home. There, 6 more dogs were seized. The rescue nonprofit has been around for decades. However, a former board member tells us the shelter was handed over to a woman a few years back. She was arrested today and now faces animal neglect and cruelty charges.
She came in there one day and wanted to give a donation, you know, and I said, gee, I'm looking for somebody, you know, because I think it's time for me to quit, you know. And she said, well, what about me? I said, gee, that would be wonderful.
It's unclear when the nonprofit started to show signs of trouble. Tax records show the shelter, listed as Orphan Kanines, Inc., last filed with the IRS in 2007. And 3 years ago, the shelter was hit with a federal tax lien.
That's so disappointing because I figured she was the perfect one for that.
Well, as far as the animals, a number of area humane societies have taken them in, but because of the criminal investigation, it could be weeks or maybe even months before any of them are eligible for adoption. Mike and Carol?
Well, they will be taken care of. Thank you, Shannon.